Happy Friday, folks. Man, focus freedom. Oh, fitness focus freedom Friday. That's right. Fitness focus freedom Friday. Well, I'm looking outside and the road is starting to dry off, but it has rained again in Kansas. I just saw a TikTok somebody had made. It was like a spoof of Forrest Gump, and it was like, one day it started raining and it rained for 40 days. Yeah, it's been raining every day, and it's getting in the way of me using that new mountain bike. I'm going to tell you right now. But as the road dries, hey buddy, I might be able to go out and do a little road riding today, and that would make nothing to me is more fitness than bicycling. It's mental fitness, it's physical fitness, it's aerobic fitness. It's like it brings it all in for me. So let's cross our fingers and hope that I can get out and do some road biking today at the very least. I would love to go mountain biking, but I mean, I think in order for me to successfully go mountain biking and not tear up a trail, I'd have to go all the way out to where it's a little more sandy, like at Lake Wilson. And that's a 90-minute drive. So that's 3 hours of driving for an hour or two of bicycling. So I don't know that I want to make that commitment today, but that's where I'm at there. Okay, so that's fitness. Focus. Let's talk about focus. Focus today is a little bit, I shouldn't say it's different. It's not different. I had a meeting. I had a meeting this week with somebody, and it was a referral. They've got a project. It's just an e-commerce project. It doesn't really have any e-learning in it, at least not yet, because you know how I tell people, I think every business needs an LMS, but right now it's just e-commerce. And it's interesting because they got referred to Mañana No Mas from another agency in town because it was a complex, complicated build. I am I'm humbled. How about that? I'm humbled to be considered that way, right? Oh, this sounds like you need an expert. You need to talk to Kurt. Like that's great. That's awesome, right? This is not a complaint. I am not complaining. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that I'm the expert in town. I couldn't be happier. But here's what happened. I meet for the meeting, and it turns out that it's really just an e-commerce build. She is making it sound more complicated because she's like, it needs to do international sales. It needs to be able to do VAT. It needs to be able to, yeah, it's a shopping cart. You're going to sell stuff. Okay, let's do this thing. And I get it because some people would see complexity in that, but based on the fact that we do enterprise e-learning and we sell stuff all over the globe anyway with all of our different clients, this kind of fits in our wheelhouse really, really well. But here's where I just want to peel back this onion a little bit. I just want to put people at ease. We seem to be in an era right now of absolute angst with AI and the algorithm being broken, and Google is penalizing all these companies, and everyone's talking about WP Beginner got downgraded or isn't getting referred anymore, and their traffic's a tenth of what it used to be, and other you talk to other people in the space and they go, oh yeah, I got hit by I took that SEO hit from Google and I'm down 40% on traffic. Yeah, okay, yes. From an agency perspective, though, what do your clients want? They just want the basics. They just want the basics. And so I want to drive people back to, if you're an expert in the space and you're staying on top of things, it's easy to feel overwhelmed with all the stuff coming at you, the opinions, the facts, the AI, all these things are driving this energy of anxiety towards agency owners. And I talk to a lot of people in the space, and they come back with like this, I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm not sure how to react. I'm not sure what to do with. You know what? Go talk to customers. Go talk to customers. If you're blessed enough to have them be local, meet them in person. Share a cup of coffee and some coffee cake. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it to get in the room, sit down, have a cup of coffee cake, slow things down, and figure out, what is it you really want? What is it you really, really want? In this world full of page builders and AI overviews and Google and all this stuff, what do you want? And they're like, I just need a website to show off my product. That's all they need. That's all they want. Give them what they want, right? You want a website, you want to show off your product. Great, here you go, right? Boom. MVP, baby. Launch it. Give them a proposal, launch it, and get moving. Do some things. It's amazing to me that we here we go. Traffic is up on both my running sites. I love to hear this. Just joining. My traffic is up on both my running sites. FYI. I'm assuming this is probably Adam, maybe Adam. And I was going to cover this. I was going to take a look at it. I went live a couple weeks ago, and I told people, I was feeling, it happens to me too. I was feeling anxious, a little overwhelmed. My site needs to be changed. My site needs to be updated. Am I really getting the traffics and the visits I want to see, right? And then out of the blue, guy hits me up, says he's a copyright expert, and he doesn't like the copy on my website, and tells me exactly why, exactly what he would do. And his approach was unique because he was like, I'll tell you all the secret sauce. And that's the way we do things at Mañana No Mas, right? I don't do a bunch of magic behind your back. Like, I take my team and I say, this is what we're going to do with your project, your e-commerce, your website. This is what we're building for you. This is how we're building it. Like, I give them all the secret sauce, and they pay us to do it, and then everybody's happy. And I feel like they're happy because we actually share, like, we actually like pull the cover off, right? We go, this is what we're doing. This is what you're paying for. Here's the benefit of what you paid for, and boom. And this guy had the same approach. He wasn't like, I'm going to work some magic in the background and do some black hat shit. He was like, no, this is what we're going to do. Like, I don't like, he's like, this paragraph is horrible. This heading is horrible. This miscommunicates to someone that you think is your market that's not your market. And boom, boom, he just went through the thing. And I said, well, if you think you could write that up, how much would that cost? And he gave me a price. And I said, that is high. That's high. That's higher than I expected, especially where he lives. I thought, poof, you're not even paying rent in New York City, and you want that money. Okay, I thought it was high. He knows he might be watching this live, and he might be like, oh, this guy, right? I thought it was high personally, but I told him, I said, you know what? I give proposals to people all the time for work that they probably think is going to be cheaper than I propose it, and they pay me and they're happy. I said, if you can do what you say you can do, and my site reacts the way you think it'll react, I'll pay you, and I'll be happy to do it. Well, folks, I put the changes up about 2 weeks ago. And let's be clear, I probably need to do some design work on Mañana No Mas, because design-wise, maybe it's not as crisp as it could be. But the copy was wrong. And he gave me some replacement copy. We put that copy up. Folks, my web traffic's up 14%. The duration on my website is something like 22% more. My bounce rate is down. Everything that should, like every direction that the new copy should provide is being provided. So I can't complain. It was worth the money. It was worth the money. And that's something that's hard for people to understand, right? Like, I own an agency and I still paid someone for copy. They're probably like, oh my God, you have your own agency. You could do it yourself. Duh. And he even told me what he was going to do, right? So if he told me that on a Zoom call, I could have recorded the Zoom call and I could have just done the work myself, right? That's where ethics come in. That's where ethics, character, that's where all that stuff comes in. Like, this guy came to me. He had a service. He told me what he was going to do. I could have done it myself. But you know what? Dude, you're the pro. I'm going to hire you. We're going to see where this goes. And he did a much better job than I would have done. Now, why did he do a better job than I would have done? Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. We're in the focus section right now. So if I were to focus on why he did a better job than I would have done, this is important. This takes introspection. You've got to be able to really look at yourself. The copy that's on my website, I read it now and I still blush. Like, this is not how I would normally talk about myself. It's not my voice. It shouldn't be my voice. My voice is too humble, being honest with you. When I'm meeting with customers, I portray myself as an expert. I tell them exactly what I can do and I execute. And once people meet with me, they sign up with Mañana No Mas, we execute and it's done. But for some reason, when I put it in writing, I'm very soft, very gentle, right? I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to come across too too bodacious. And I didn't want to name drop all the big companies I had worked with, right? Like it just said we help enterprise clients move websites, blah blah blah. And he was like, "Nah, you've done Ducati, you've done Suzuki, you've worked with BRP. You need to put those names down. You work with Lifter LMS, you're a Lifter LMS expert. You run all their calls. You need to put that on there." And he put that stuff into the copy, and we met with a client, like I said, a couple days ago, and she point blank said, "I got referred to you. But then I looked you up and I went through your website, and I know that I want to do business with you." Like, you want your sales meetings to go that easy, right? Like, it's a sales meeting. I'm there to see what she wants and if we're even a player, right? And she starts out with, "I've already looked at your website. You were referred to us, and I already know that you're who I want to do business with." So that makes sales a lot easier. So is the website doing its job? Now, I questioned that. I questioned that this morning talking to Jonathan Denwood. I said, I'm not sure if I can count conversions or not. Like, I can see that people are on the website longer, they're looking at it longer, my bounce rate is down, I'm getting more hits than I got before. So I tend to think that the copy is working. I don't know that I could attribute like conversion to it yet, right? Because I think that's going to take more time. And hey, that is Adam. Look at that. It is Adam. So Adam's good to see you, man. It's always good to see you. I don't know. I just did a weather report, and it was raining here all night last night again. So my trails are soaked. I can't go mountain biking if they're muddy, right? Because if you damage the trail, you're not being a good steward. So I don't know what it's like out where you are. You usually do your front porch weather reports, but it's raining here. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know if you're in North Carolina. I think you're traveling. I don't know. Adam is an ultra runner, by the way, folks. He's usually traveling the country and running some great race or something like that. But so if we do the Fitness Focus Freedom Friday thing, and the focus was talking about the copy and getting that done, right? So I don't know if I could count that as a conversion, but when I met face to face with the customer, that's what that was, right? So we'll say that the copy's working. Now, the other thing that I came away with in this conversation with this nice lady is all of this stuff that we're all worried about at the agency level, right? All the stuff, like if you hear me talk about on the Agency Action Show, AI, the algorithm, search engine optimization, it's all important. It's all important. But the thing that's most important is meeting with your customers, talking to your customers, and finding out what they actually want. What are their actual expectations? Because many of us, many of us have inflated the expectations without verifying the expectations, right? And so that puts us in a position of feeling overwhelmed or feeling like the ask is too high, or we start to have conversations where we think a project is worth $40,000 instead of $12,000, right? And so then we end up pricing ourselves out of the market because we've elevated the expectations without verifying the expectations. And that's very, very important, right? So validate, verify your expectations, talk to your customers, and then put yourself at ease, because chances are they're not looking for what you're assuming they're looking for. Like the meeting I had the other day, it turned into what I consider a simple conversation about an e-commerce website. Now, what's cool about this is she's like, yes, like, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm bidding the job. And I'm not bidding the job wholesale. I'm bidding it retail, right? So I'm bidding the job retail. I have a feeling she's going to say yes to the whole stinking thing. I broke it into 4 phases. That if you want to know how I do things, you can listen to me more often. But I broke it into our standard, kind of like our 4-phase approach, right? We're going to launch an MVP, then we're going to add some elements as we go. Each of those elements is going to come with an upfront investment and an ongoing maintenance to go with it, right? And so the idea there is that we help our customers launch with a minimal viable product and help them find some traction, some momentum, some revenue as they launch, so that they're not making a giant investment up front and then seeing if it works or not. Right? We want to give people the opportunity to launch and then grow into their space. And as they're growing into the space, they're going to make more investment, more maintenance, and they're going to keep momentum and grow. We try to help people find success that way. And so that to me is, I think it's the best way to go. But when I look at it, I mean, she's probably 12, 15% of this year's revenue. Like, so when you break it down that way, you go, okay, so this is important, right? Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. When we get into focus and we start talking a little bit about freedom, it's important to know your stinking numbers. Like, you want to know, like, if I sell this, what percentage of my revenue for the year is this? A lot of businesses are like, especially in the middle of the year like this right now, right? Now we're ending June, we're coming up on July, half the year's gone, and so people are thinking, oh well, if I've made 80 grand so far, and I want to be at 200 grand, I'm behind. No, you need to know your numbers as you go, and you need to have plans and strategies and things in place. So I wouldn't have the freedom to go mountain biking or to have conversations about going on a road bike ride on a Friday morning if I didn't have the freedom to do it, right? Like, I wouldn't have the freedom to do it if I didn't have the freedom to do it. Sounds crazy. But I've built my business in a way that lends me that freedom. If we take a look here, you can see Adam says, just back from running in Lake Tahoe. Do you think the dude's built a little bit of freedom into his life? I think this is so huge. Just got back from running in Lake Tahoe. North Carolina weather is hot and humid. Storms are brewing this weekend. Fantastic. Adam, like myself, is maturing in the space. And I feel like maybe I shouldn't even group us together, but I feel like we are. I feel like me and Adam are more in a kinship relationship than a lot of other peers in the space are. He loves running. He's got agency background all about him. He does podcasting. He loves running. So what's he doing? He's creating a thing called needapacer.com, I think is what it is, right? Needapacer.com. And it's all about running and running at a high level, right? And doing things from a travel competitive sports perspective. And that is so cool, right? It's like, okay, awesome. So what do I do? I have a passion for power sports. I own the Power Sport Academy. I have a passion for mountain biking. I'm building the Pedal Academy. I have a passion for growing agencies in the WordPress space. Hence the Agency Action Show that I do near weekly with Toby Crines, right? And so what am I building? On the back end of that, I'm building the WP Agency Academy. I seem to like the word academy a lot, right? Power Sport Academy, Pedal Academy, WP Agency Academy. And so I'm helping my clients build in these categories, right? Membership and learning websites. But if I'm the expert in membership and learning, shouldn't I be executing in membership and learning? So that's what we're doing. And folks, when we talk about Fitness Focus Freedom Friday, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking a strategic look at your whole being. What's taking away your focus? What is keeping you from focusing? What is it family? Is it friends? I just had a very real talk with my daughter last night, right? It's like she moved back into our house. Totally great. She wants, she wants to save money. She wants to get ahead with business. She wants to grow her figure skating business. Great. She moved back in, and then I saw that she was allowing life to have a couple of distractions. And does anyone want to have that conversation? No. But I was like, hey, baby girl, you said when you moved in, these were the things you wanted to focus on. And I just wanted to kind of approach the topic that from my perspective, it looks like you're struggling with that focus. You're getting distracted by other things. Now, she didn't want to hear it. Nobody ever wants to hear it. But as a parent, we have that discussion, right? I enter that discussion. She, of course, objects, but will it stick, right? Is it something that she's going to kind of play in her head over and over again for the next 3 days? I'm hoping so. Because if we do enough in the order that I say, you'll become right as rain. I come up with these things, right? Like during the pandemic, I said we have to find the opportunities within the obstacles. I don't think I could have been more correct at that period in time. We have to find the opportunities within the obstacles. The whole world was locking down. The whole world was shutting in. And I was like, we got to get out of our comfort zone and we've got to grow something. Well, here we are. Mañana no Mas grew. We're paying for a house. Almost all the cars in our driveway are paid for. We've done something right. So we found the opportunities within the obstacles. Now I'm talking about Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. And I come to you almost every Friday with this message: Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Fitness. You can only succeed as much as your body will allow you to. If you are out of shape, sick, handicapped, all these things, that all relates to the rest of life. And this is not mean. This is not hateful. This is, can people overcome? Yes, we can take a look at people all throughout history that have overcome. Okay, we can all do that, right? What was it? Teddy Roosevelt ended in a wheelchair and was still the president, right? So, can you succeed with a handicap? Yes, you can. But is it more difficult to? Yes, absolutely, it's more difficult to. So, why make things more difficult for yourself? Take this fitness thing seriously. When I was fat, I'm still fat, but when I was much more fat, struggling to walk upstairs, right? Staying awake in a conference room during a meeting, flying and being super, super tired. Like, that was difficult. Absolutely difficult. That was in my 40s. And now here I am in my 50s, 50 pounds lighter, and I feel so much more vibrant, right? I just, over the winter, got fat and I had to drop some weight. I've dropped 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. Dropping that 20 pounds. I hop on the mountain bike, I feel like a new man. I hop on the road bike, I feel like a new man. I work throughout the day and I have a higher energy level because I'm not dragging an extra 20 pounds around. I still got another 15 or 20 pounds to drop, and it's gonna happen as long as I can stay active and keep things going. Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Now, when my fitness is in the right space, right? When I am mentally alert, physically alert, and able to do things more easily, now I've got focus, right? So now I take a look at focus, and we already talked about business today on focus. We got that freedom. I already talked about freedom a little bit, right? All of that stuff comes when we put it in the proper order. So fitness, focus, freedom. And when you get there, folks, you'll know it. When you get there, you'll know it. Now, I pick Fridays as like my day to schedule light, have a cigar, mow the lawn, have a cold beer in the afternoon, maybe go for a mountain bike ride. That's my thing. You pick your thing. Fitness, focus, freedom Thursdays. I don't know. Fitness, focus, freedom Mondays. Whatever works for you. But I can tell you this, when you get there, I am so driven by this. It is like an overwhelming presence in my head. I have peers in the space that are working their knuckles down. I mean, they are like, I just got to keep pushing. I just got to keep driving. For what? To what end? To what end? What are you building so feverishly? What is it that you think you're going to miss out on? Fitness is so important. Mental fitness, physical fitness, right? Emotional fitness. It's all so important. Part of this fitness is like read a book. Read a book. I choose scripture. I read scripture in the mornings. It balances me. So you don't have to read scripture. You can read whatever you want to read. You can read a John Maxwell book. You can, read the Zen diary of whatever, right? But read something. Mental fitness. Physical fitness, emotional fitness. Give yourself a break. Give yourself some balance. Fitness Focus Freedom Friday. Focus. What are you putting your energy into? The way that I focus is after I get done my reading, I jump into my planner here, right? I've got this Remarkable Pro, and it's got a planner in it. It's got a journal in it. I put down my thoughts. I plan my day. I know what my day is going to look like. Who's scheduled what? Where am I at, right? All my calendars. Okay, so they got a new thing. Before, I used to tell you that I used to write my schedule down every day. I'd write it, right? And physically writing it down helped me remember what my day was going to be, because I've got like 7 different digital calendars, different sources, right? We work for different people all the time, so people can schedule on different calendars, and they all come together. Well, now I've got them synced to this tablet. So when I open up this tablet in the morning, it tells me what's already pre-scheduled. And then I can look at the blank spaces and go, well, this is where I'm going to work on this blog post, or this is where I'm going to edit this video, or this is where I'm going to do a live with the people that are on my screen. And I go through that, right? So that's fitness, focus, freedom. That's all there. If I wasn't planned, if I wasn't focused, I wouldn't have the freedom I'm talking about. And folks, I'm telling you, I'm passionate about this message because once you get there, once you arrive at this space, the balance, the contentment, I'm not going to say happiness. Happiness is not my responsibility, and happiness to me is like, it's weird. There's a difference between happiness and joy. There's a difference between happiness and contentment. So I don't want to oversell. Like I'm not, dancing to jazz in the hallway. I was doing that earlier today. That was a happy moment, right? But I want to talk about like peace, contentment, enjoyment of the day. Like some people literally feel like they have to survive the day. When I train people in the power sports market, I'd see people that are frenzied. When I train people in power sports and marine, I see people that are dang near panic struck every day. It's an argument every day to get through it when they're in the office. And my goal with them is to show them how to thrive in a market, not survive the market, right? It's not about survival, it's about thriving. And that's where we're at right now. We are in the space where fitness is right, focus is right, our freedom is in alignment, right? And of course, I pick Fridays. Today's Friday. I'm just going to chill. The rest of I don't know. I got some chicken thawed. Maybe I'm going to cook something amazing on the grill later. Like those are the things that are on my mind right now. I might seem horribly disconnected to you, and you might think to yourself, this dude's lost his mind. He's lost his marbles. He's not focused at all. No, it's the opposite. It's the complete opposite. Because of the fitness, because of the focus, I have attained a certain amount of freedom, and it allows me to enjoy my Friday. And with that, I think I'm going to end. Folks, I see people coming into the live. I've only had a few comments. I am open. I am an open book. If you've got questions, put them in the comments. When you see me come live, jump in. Let's have a conversation. Let's do this thing. If you're not already following me on YouTube, go to Mañana No Mas on YouTube. Boom, you can follow us there. You can jump into mañananomas.com, take a look at our blog posts and see the stuff that we put out. We're putting out a ton of content, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. I am on the WP Tonic Show, the Membership Machine Show. I run the lives for Lifter LMS Cast. Plenty of opportunities to get in touch if you'd like to. And we can always make the connection on LinkedIn. I'm the only Kurt Von Ahnen on LinkedIn, so it's easy to find me and make the connection. Folks, have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you very, very soon.